Hello people, it's your favorite mycelium stock which engages in under the influence activities. So, this video is going to be something a little less structured, a little less analytical, and more so just to gush about all the new lore we've gotten in Dragon Ball Daima. Everyone knows that Dragon Ball is my favorite anime of all time, and Daima, the newest series, just premiered 2 days ago. And there is so much that we can learn from this first episode. But before we get into all that, let's go into a little background for this video. Daima is the newest continuation of the Dragon Ball story, following the events of Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z. If you're interested, the other two continuations of Dragon Ball are Dragon Ball GT, which came out immediately after the end of Z, and then we have Dragon Ball Super, which came out much later as a revitalization of the series. What Daima has that the other two series didn't have is that it was directly worked on by the late Akira Toriyama. This is very significant because he wrote the manga for Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but he didn't have direct involvement in making the other two series aside from character designs and slight story elements. So, how was this very first episode of Daima? Fucking amazing, actually. I had nothing but a good time watching it, and I hope everyone takes the time to check out the first episode. But, this isn't about how I liked it. This video is for me to relay onto you what new lore we got in the series and what could explain certain things that happened in the original or may need to be explained further going down the line. I'll try and make it so the bigger revelations are towards the bottom of this list. Firstly, Majin Buu is now confirmed to have properties within his body that unfuse people who have used the Potara earrings. This is the second time that the Potara earrings are now retconned, because in Dragon Ball Super they state that Kibito and Supreme Kai separated from the indefinite fusion of the Potara using the Dragon Balls. But in Daima, they confirmed that all they had to do was enter the body of Majin Buu. This is due to a mysterious gas that is inside his body, confirmed by both Supreme Kai and Kibito. The next thing we learn is that the Supreme Kais and other core people can have siblings. We find this out at the same time that we find out that the Universe 7 Supreme Kai has a sister and a brother named Degesu and Dr. Erensu, respectively. I could have pronounced those completely wrong, but we'll just go past that. It is unknown if the reason they are siblings is because they came out of the same fruit or were born on the same day. With the way that Kais are said to be produced, it makes siblings not make a bunch of sense. But I'm hopeful we'll see more explanations on this in the series going forward. We find out that the Demon Realm is almost like its own pseudo-universe. Think about it in terms of the MCU and the Quantum Realm. Basically, people in the Demon Realm can access any universe in the Dragon Ball multiverse, which, up until this point, we didn't know that was possible since the only people we've seen across universes are angels. They can also appear in various sections of those universes so that it's closer to their desired destination. It is unknown if this is exclusively accessible to high-ranking officials of the Demon Realm, or if any demon can do so. We next find out that King Goma announces that he is able to extend the life of anyone far beyond their natural lifespan. We see that he has been keeping Neva alive for thousands of years, when, in relation, Demon King Piccolo and Kami were alive for only about 300 years and looked just as old. Speaking of Neva, his staff looks a lot like Kami's, but it is unknown why. I just thought it was something cool to point out. The ability to extend someone's life is similar to a Kai's ability, but the one time we see a Kai use this technique, it comes at the cost of his own life. Now, we get into the ones that, in my opinion, are the biggest lore drops of the entire series. We find out through Degesu that all Namekians come from the Demon Realm, so when Demon King Piccolo was calling himself a demon, he wasn't necessarily wrong. However, it is completely unknown how the Namekians got out of the Demon Realm and traveled to what is now planet Namek. This means that all Namekians, regardless of their clan, are officially demons, but they most likely forgot their demonic origins since none of them have been alive as long as Neva. It's interesting to see that they went from demons to aliens to now demons who are aliens to Earth specifically. We also now know that the Demon Realm has their own set of Dragon Balls. This is due to the Namekians having originated from there. So this could implicate that the Dragon Balls of the Demon Realm could be the original. These are different from the Earth's Dragon Balls and Namek's Dragon Balls, as they only have 3 very large ones protected by sentinel-like beings, rather than the 7 Dragon Balls on Earth or Namek that are scattered to protect their wish. We then see that Namekians, at least those who are able to create Dragon Balls, can identify and summon Dragon Balls even when they are inactive. People have pointed out online that Dende doesn't know how to do this, and that seeing this happen, he should know. But up until this point, no Namekians have ever shown this ability. It could be because this ability has been lost to time. With the Namekians considering the Dragon Balls sacred, it is possible that this ability wouldn't have been taught because they would want to keep the period of inactivity and having to find them again. This goes perfectly into the next lore piece, that Namekians, most likely the ones who make Dragon Balls, can reawaken the Dragon Balls before the 1-year time limit has passed. Not much is known about this part of the episode, but this reawakening seems to come at the cost of additional wishes. For example, Shinran and Purunga can grant 3 wishes each, but if they were awakened before their inactive time has passed, they could only be able to grant 1 wish. With only the first episode coming out, it is difficult to say for sure. Again, this ability was most likely not taught, as the Namekians of today do consider them sacred, and it was most likely lost to time. That would explain why Dende and Kami didn't know this. It's super interesting to see new lore come out for Dragon Ball, especially lore that explains things we had questions about and makes things a little bit more cohesive. I'm always a fan of stories adding more information about things that the fans have been wondering for a while. The Supreme Kai and the Namekians, even the Demon Realm, have been needing some explanation for a while now. There is one last thing we should cover before getting to the outro. There's a lot of people online that are stuck to the idea that people from the Demon Realm have pointed ears, and are now retroactively calling certain characters and other races demons. Some I think you can make an argument for, like Emperor Pilaf. We always knew something was up with him because of his blue skin. But others, I feel like, are kind of a stretch. Calling the Yardrats demons because they have pointed ears isn't necessarily wrong, but it doesn't mean they are demons either. The quote from King Goma is that Vegeta and Goku don't have pointy ears, so they must not be from the Demon Realm. But this only implies that those from the Demon Realm all have pointy ears, not that everyone who has pointy ears is from the Demon Realm. So, with that being said, let me ask you, are you excited for the rest of Daima? I know some people who are having trouble vibing with it, whether it be because they wanted Dragon Ball Super 2, or because they didn't understand the premise of the show. I, for one, have been excited since the announcement, and am even more hyped for the upcoming episodes after this first episode. Now we have 3 paths we can travel down after Dragon Ball Z, even though this could technically lead into Super. So, which is your favorite? Y'all like Daima as a continuation? What about Super as a continuation? Maybe y'all like GT? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please let me know if I missed anything you think needs to be talked about. And while you're down there, maybe give this video a thumbs up, and save and share with your friends. Subscribing's pretty cool. It helps the channel out, and it helps me do a lot more of this for y'all. So, maybe try that too. Thank you for your time, and remember, if you're not toasted with toasted mushroom, you're just baked.